Africa, a continent teeming with life, a symphony of colors, a land of ancient wisdom. Before colonial powers, Africa thrived in its own image, a mosaic of diverse kingdoms and empires. From Timbuktu to Ethiopia, pre-colonial Africa was a testament to human ingenuity and cultural brilliance. This era, often obscured by colonial narratives, was a time of innovation, self-governance, and vibrant cultural exchange. Imagine vast savannas teeming with wildlife, their rhythms harmonizing with the lives of nomadic herders. Picture bustling cities adorned with intricate architecture, their streets alive with merchants and artisans. Envision fertile valleys where farmers cultivated the earth, their harvests sustaining thriving communities. The Nile nurtured civilizations like ancient Egypt, whose architectural marvels and intellectual contributions continue to inspire awe. This essay embarks on a journey to unveil the true essence of pre-colonial Africa, celebrating the continent's inherent strength, resilience, and the enduring spirit of its people. Across pre-colonial Africa, a myriad of lifestyles coexisted, each intricately connected to the land and its resources. Nomadic pastoralists traversing the savannas with their herds relied on their deep understanding of nature's cycles. Farmers cultivating fertile lands nurtured crops that sustained entire communities, their agricultural practices passed down through generations. From fishermen casting their nets to artisans crafting intricate jewelry, life pulsed with a deep respect for nature and communal harmony. Despite the diversity of lifestyles, a common thread of unity ran through pre-colonial Africa. A shared sense of community, of Ubuntu, emphasized the interconnectedness of all beings. This philosophy fostered a spirit of cooperation and mutual support. Villages celebrated harvests together, shared stories around flickering firelight, and faced challenges as a collective. Trade routes, crisscrossing the continent, connected communities and fostered cultural exchange. These trade networks facilitated the exchange of goods, knowledge, ideas, and traditions, enriching the cultural landscape of pre-colonial Africa. Beneath the sun-drenched savannas and within the lush rainforests, pre-colonial Africa held a treasure trove of natural resources. Gold, mined in regions like the Asante Kingdom, adorned intricate jewelry and symbolized wealth and power. Copper was transformed into tools, weapons, and ceremonial objects, reflecting the ingenuity of African metallurgists. Africa's natural wealth was undeniable, but its true value lay in the indigenous knowledge systems that governed their sustainable use. Generations of observation and interaction with the environment endowed communities with a profound understanding of nature's balance. Traditional mining techniques, often accompanied by rituals, ensured minimal environmental impact. Forests were managed with care, ensuring resource replenishment for future generations. Plants, revered for their medicinal properties, formed the basis of traditional healing practices. Herbs, roots, and bark were carefully collected and processed, their healing powers passed down through oral traditions. This harmonious relationship with nature ensured the sustainable use of Africa's abundant resources, reflecting the wisdom of pre-colonial African societies. Pre-colonial Africa was a vibrant tapestry of diverse cultures, each contributing to the continent's rich heritage. From the elaborate beadwork of the Maasai to the intricate bronze sculptures of Benin, artistic expression flourished. Music, the heartbeat of Africa, permeated every aspect of life, from celebratory dances to solemn rituals. Oral traditions passed down through generations served as repositories of history, wisdom, and cultural values. Griots, the revered storytellers, wove intricate narratives that preserved the lineage of kings and celebrated heroes. Social structures, rooted in kinship ties and communal values, ensured order and harmony within communities. Elders played a vital role in conflict resolution, decision-making, and the transmission of cultural knowledge. This intricate tapestry of cultures painted a vibrant picture of pre-colonial Africa, where diversity was celebrated and traditions were honored. Section 5. The Berlin Conference. a defining moment in Africa's fate. The year 1884 marked a turning point in Africa's history, casting a long shadow over the continent's destiny. In Berlin, Germany, colonial powers convened to carve up Africa for their own ambitions. This conference, known as the Berlin Conference, was a blatant exercise in imperial greed, deciding the fate of millions of Africans without their consent. Motivated by a thirst for resources and driven by industrial ambitions, European powers embarked on a mission to partition Africa. They drew lines across the continent, ignoring existing boundaries and disregarding the intricate tapestry of cultures and communities. This arbitrary division sowed the seeds of conflict and instability that would plague Africa for generations. The Berlin Conference marked the beginning of a scramble for Africa, a period of intense competition among European powers to secure colonies and exploit resources. This insatiable hunger for land and resources set in motion a chain of events that would forever alter the course of African history. Section 6. The Shadow of Colonization, Exploitative Regimes and Cultural Disruption. The ink on the Berlin Conference Agreement had barely dried when the shadow of colonization began to spread across Africa. European powers dismantled existing systems of governance, imposing their own structures and exploiting Africa's resources. This marked the beginning of a dark chapter in African history, characterized by exploitation, oppression, and the erosion of African agency. Colonial regimes sought to erase African cultures, languages, and traditions, replacing them with their own. Indigenous languages were suppressed, traditional beliefs demonized, and African art forms dismissed as primitive. Economically, colonization transformed Africa into a source of raw materials for European industries. Cash crops were forcibly introduced, displacing traditional agricultural practices and making African economies dependent on European markets. The legacy of colonization continues to cast a long shadow over Africa, demanding acknowledgement and redress as the continent strives to reclaim its narrative. Section 7. Echoes of the Past, Lasting Impacts and the Struggle for Reclaiming Identity. The echoes of colonization continue to reverberate through Africa, shaping its present and influencing its future. The arbitrary borders drawn during the scramble for Africa left a legacy of ethnic tensions and political instability. Economic systems, designed to serve colonial interests, left many African nations grappling with poverty and inequality. The suppression of African languages and cultures during the colonial era had a profound impact on the continent's cultural landscape. However, amidst these challenges, the spirit of Africa endures. There is a growing movement to reclaim African identities, celebrate the continent's rich cultural heritage, and rewrite the narrative of Africa's past. This ongoing struggle for cultural reclamation is about restoring dignity, fostering unity, and paving the way for a future where African voices are heard and celebrated. Section 8. A Continent Rises, Embracing Heritage and Forging a Brighter Future. As Africa steps into the 21st century, it does so with a renewed sense of purpose, determined to confront the challenges of its past and forge a brighter future. The journey ahead requires acknowledging the wounds of colonization, addressing systemic inequalities, and dismantling neocolonial structures. It demands a commitment to good governance, sustainable development, and the empowerment of its people. Education, the cornerstone of progress, must play a pivotal role in this transformative journey. Investing in quality education that embraces African history, languages, and cultures is essential for fostering critical thinking and nurturing creativity. By reclaiming their narratives and embracing their heritage, young Africans can lead the way in shaping a future where Africa's potential is fully realized. The continent's rich cultural heritage holds the key to its future. By embracing its diversity and harnessing the wisdom of indigenous knowledge systems, Africa can chart a path towards sustainable development and economic prosperity. As Africa rises, it does so with the strength of its ancestors, poised to reclaim its rightful place on the global stage.